Hello, hello. This is Paul this morning. I'm just waiting for the last bit of the live setup to show up. And it doesn't appear to have any audio. Oh, because I turned it off. Okay, we got it. And that's switched. And away we go here. Sorry that I wish Zoom was a little less crazy in setting this up, but I'm ready to go here. One more second just so I can see comments. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about today is, I don't know, there's so many strange energies going on right now, and I just want people to be aware of what I feel, and maybe then it can resonate in their lives and maybe help them understand that they're not crazy or that this is not us dying or some other thing. I'm really having the feeling that I'm kind of walking between two worlds right now. There's this beautiful space that's opening inside of me of how to describe it. Well, I'll explain what I feel in my body and then we can go from there to unwind what's feeling. But I have a lot of squeezing on and off in my chest, in behind my shoulder blades, behind my heart. I have a sensation sometimes of my arms being pulled off, my left arm, right right in this forearm part here. It's just like tearing sometimes or aching or throbbing, like almost a tendonitis or something. I get headaches once in a while, some tightness in my throat. Um, my right hip, that's where attachments are. Um, and then these waves, there's so much energy going through. These waves will come in and sometimes I'll feel like lightheaded. I'll feel uh kind of like despair-y feelings. I don't know how to describe it. It's like I don't want to be here. What the hell's going on? This isn't fun. uh it's not like a suicidal, it's kind of like I don't belong here and I don't want to continue walking around in this muck and feeling pulled down and uncomfortable and so exhausted. um I can't even describe the level of exhausted. Here in Calgary, Canada, where I'm living, we're having a massive heat wave that's very unseasonable. We get 35 Celsius, which is almost 100 Fahrenheit, usually about 3 times a year. And we're having a whole entire week of it. And it makes, I don't have air conditioning in my home, so it makes the house unbearable in its temperature. It'll be easily 35 by the end of the day. So I'm having to sleep in the basement. Thank God for the coolness of the earth, or else my body would just go haywire. Once my core temperature gets up, I get very anxious and very uncomfortable and don't want to be in my body anymore. So some people may be feeling those sensations as well. Um, but on top of all those feelings, I'm getting these experiences showing up of awareness and just seeing underneath reality. I don't know how to describe that to people well, but seeing that the inner workings of experiences, what makes things feel uncomfortable, what makes things feel um, weird, looking at everything like facets of relationship, financial, family dynamics. Uh, Another one is around work. Um, I'm self-employed. I do IT work for people and healing work for people, and everything is so quiet right now. Nothing's showing up. We're just getting into the summer dynamic of people going on vacation. And I have all these polls saying, okay, I got to be profitable. How am I going to pay the bills? What's the next thing? And I can feel it so hollow. And the most important thing that I can do for myself right now and for the world is to heal myself. So sitting in that dynamic of being really quiet with myself and still with myself, and not feeling pulled to do work or to chase work or to try and find or whatever money. So this new place is kind of forming inside of me of just like being. And there's no being in my experience of work. It's just like you're outwardly projecting your beingness. And I personally feel the term business is actually busyness. People know it. Once you get a job, you're so busy, you're chasing to meet customer requirements, your boss's requirements, to make money, to get back home in time, to make supper, to feed the kids, to go to soccer, to go to whatever, and do the laundry before bed, and then start all over again. And then your focus on you completely disappears. So it's very beautiful, but also humbling to look inside and see um, all the old ways. I'd call it the old ways. I was a professional. I worked for Nortel Networks and engineering job and led people, and I've lived that to its fullest. Um, and now I'm looking at life so differently. I don't feel like I need a career. I don't feel like I need to have status or letters behind my name or a job title that gives me power over people or any of those things. So sorry, I'm getting a message from Anya. We're going to do a live in a little bit. Um, but the awareness that we're going into in this new world is something completely different. It's about all about us. It's all about examining the cage we're in, I guess I would call it. So as I look at all this stuff, I'm starting to see all these rules, all these expectations. What's a good son? What's a good father? What's a productive member of society? All these terms show up in my awareness, and then I'm having to disassemble them. And it's not hard. It's just kind of surreal, where it's like, okay, well, what's a good son? Oh, well, a good son goes to see his parents regularly and calls them regularly and talks about whatever's going on and those kind of things. But is there depth in that? Is there um, really seeing each other in that, or are you just putting up this what feels sometimes like a facade of just meeting expectations, which can be really hollow? Same with the job. It's like, okay, I got to go to a job. Well, there's no life with a job other than, okay, yeah, you bump into some people and have some experiences at work. How's that fulfilled me? Would I really need a job if I didn't need money? And look at money. Money's tied to survival. Money's tied to your safety. Money's tied to being a good parent. Money's tied to all these things. So you start looking at it, and there's all these layers of things that pull us away from self-examination, from self-awareness, from really looking underneath to understand your whys. Once I'm starting to understand my whys, some magic happens, because I'm literally, can you imagine, let's say this is you in your life and you're free. There's no rules. You're just like this little baby that just wants to create and have fun and shine light. And you come in and you're born and you crash into the world out of the womb of your mother, and all of a sudden that whole world, okay, it's cold, it's hot, it's bright, it's shiny, it's loud, it's whatever, and you're starting to get impinged on. And then as we grow up, our parents are trying to be protective of us, and this is something that I've learned under love is a lot of protecting and guiding us to safety and wanting the best for us and trying to help us be happy and all these things. So the world starts to enclose us and say, okay, this is the way you got to be, and here's your religion, and here's your what your parents say, and your parents are getting a divorce, or your parents are this or that, and then you go to school, and then your friends are giving stuff and saying, oh, well, you're not cool unless you do this, or you're not cool unless you wear Calvin Klein, or all these crazy things. And as we get older and older and older and older, and we're following this dream, the dream is the escalator of go to school, well, grow up, go to school, find a partner, get a job, get a house, have kids, have all the toys, and then you're happy. Well, all the time you're going through this, all these different things are growing like mud around us, and they become a bit of a cage. A cage is basically of your beliefs. It's like, okay, this can't happen unless I have money. I can't go on vacation unless I have money. I got to get a really good job, or else I'll be tired. Well, anybody that's been doing this for a while, once you get a good job and the higher level that you're at and the more money you make, oh great, all of a sudden all the taxes start to kick and you end up, you're now making $120,000 or something, and the taxes, you're actually making less than you made when you're doing hardly any work and you're working your ass off all the time. As we start to find all this stuff, there's these progressive layers of control, of belief conditioning, and all this kind of stuff. And then we wake up in our 40s and we're starting to have this midlife crisis thing, or whatever, where you're feeling the trap, the control, and that you have no freedom anymore because you followed the dream. You got to the top of the dream and it was very hollow. There wasn't love there. There was a bunch of responsibilities and expectations and obligations. And then we start unwinding ourselves again. And then people are like, oh, that guy went crazy, or that girl went crazy. And once they had a divorce and all their friends left and all that kind of stuff. But that process of self-awareness is happening now, not even as a midlife crisis. It's happening at all levels of life, as the universe is kind of crushing us with all these things like viruses and lockdowns and governmental control and taxes and all this kind of stuff. It's crushing us and it's forcing us inward. And now we're not allowed to go visit with friends. We're not allowed to keep busy in our off time, go to the bar and drink copious amounts of alcohol so that we don't even have to look at our life. We're looking inside and it's really dark sometimes. It's really unhappy because we're realizing that we really didn't have any freedom at all. And we don't know why we didn't have any freedom, but it is, which is all okay. But this is the process of self-awareness. As you're crushed, you're starting to squeeze out and starting to realize that there's some stuff that's wrong, and what's considered the truth may actually not be the truth. It may be controlling us, or it may be leading us to not believe that more is possible. It may shut us down from our manifestation capability. It may tie us to all these responsibilities that make it impossible to be responsible to ourselves first. So these energies are doing something that's never been given to humankind before in human experience, is all these massive shifts. And then at the same time, all these energies, genetic changes happening in our body, light coming from the sun, solar flares, portals, and all this stuff is forcing us to look at ourselves. And that can feel in a whole bunch of different ways. It can feel like intense emotions. It can feel like absolutely debilitated. You got to lay on the couch and your body can't move, and you're tired and exhausted, and emotions are coming up and you just don't know where they're coming from, and you just want to cry, and it's like nothing's working out, and all these situations are coming up almost feeling like it's there to hurt you, but it's actually forcing you to see a perspective or a facet that needs change or healing. Another thing that I'm starting to see happen a lot too, that's not as much inward, but we're starting to see what I call the zombie effect or whatever, but there's a lot of people that are wandering around looking for these same things. They may not have done as deep a work, but when they get near you, you shine a light and a possibility, and you're opening, and they want that for themselves. But the very fact that they don't have it for themselves makes them want to attack and belittle my energy, because they don't have that same place. And the literal light that I'm shining, or the possibility, or some of the concepts that I'm sharing, literally makes them feel that their world is invalidated, or that they've made a mistake, or they're not good enough. So it's much easier to shut another person down that maybe is shining too much light, because that's what the world teaches us, instead of trying to find the truth and to have better understanding. So you get people that are attacking and saying vicious things sometimes, or calling you names behind your back without actually speaking to you sometimes, because it's far easier to shame and blame and stop and whatever than it is to let that light shine on you and start to make change and make the possibility of change inside. Change is scary as hell to people, and people that are willing to change and are starting to awaken already can be scary as hell in a world that's got so much craziness going on. Any level of change feels terrifying, and it's okay. But to make a next step, to awaken, to open, you need to start changing. You need to start drawing people in around you that shine a light and are willing to ask hard questions, but in a loving, beautiful, non-confrontational way. And in my world, that's what I'm trying to be to people, is just to, hey, I got a new perspective. Maybe you don't like it, but let's talk about it. And my perspective isn't better than anybody else's. All I know is I'm continuously doing the work, and I'm responsive to any other perspectives, because by comparing and contrasting perspectives without aggression or whatever, I learn. It's like, oh, my idea of the world was jaded by this. Oh, I have Catholic Church in me, so this makes me see the world this way, or whatever. But oh, you have Muslim or something, which allows me to see a new perspective. And it's like, wow, that new perspective is exactly what I needed to shine light into me that maybe I'm missing something. It's not bad. It's the process of awakening, to just continuously go in and talk and share and philosophize and see from other people's experiences, so that you can see where the untruth was put into you at some point in time. And I'm going to say something that might be hard for people, but it's really important. It was really important for me to understand that I didn't make any mistakes. But I'm going to tell you the way this world was, and the heaviness that this world was, and many hundreds of thousands of years of dark control and stuff going on underneath. I'm going to tell you right now, we never had a chance. From the minute we were born and programmed, and the stuff that was in our subconscious mind and was poured into us from the minute we came in as a being on this planet. And I'll tell you right now, we made contracts to allow this all to happen because we had to have a human experience. But just understand, they are so good at it, and the rules are so good, and all the devices that are attached to your body and the connections that you have, they want you to fail. They want to suck you dry as a darkness. And just understand that we're part of that darkness. We created some of this darkness. If you've been here as a spiritual being and you had multi lives, we created that. That's what power and control is. But we had to live a human experience exactly the same as everyone else, so that we could rise above and climb up the, whatever you want to call it, trellis or whatever, of all this stuff that was put upon us, so that we could come to this point of complete awareness. And once you've lived through all that stuff and had darkness experienced upon you and felt low and felt sucked dry and all this kind of stuff, you can now sit in a human experience and be aware and rise above. And if you hadn't, you wouldn't be able to rise above. So the biggest thing for me was that I did not make mistakes. I couldn't have done anything better. Everything was perfect. It gave me the experiences I need, and it had to happen. And for me, that just let all this weight come off my chest and allowed me to see in a perspective that I didn't do something wrong. I wasn't failing. I wasn't gonna fail if I didn't figure this stuff out. It's all in this beautiful natural progression that I can not possibly understand. It's done at the rate that's needed for me, even though I scream and yell sometimes at God and the universe, asking for it to speed up. It goes in exactly the steps that it needs. And no mistakes were made. And you never have to feel that you did something wrong, you weren't worthy, and God left you. No, God was there right beside your side. And that part of you was right beside your side, holding your hand, getting you through this darkest of the dark shit, so that you could truly and completely understand it. And if you're a way shower, you're going to show to other people, say, I felt that. I felt rape. I felt trauma. I felt fighting. I felt a boss that hated me. I felt divorce. I felt partners and other things that I didn't think loved me or whatever, you're going to be able to sit beside another person that's having that exact same experience, and you're going to be able to resonate with them. And you're going to be able to say, I felt that exact same thing. And here's what the gold was when I got out the other side. And that will be magic to a person at some point. But it felt like, who the hell would ever do this shit to themselves? All I know is that was the fire that melted me, tempered me, and allowed me to find places within myself that I didn't know existed. Confidence, power, love, and then all these gifts showed up. I shine light to people. You probably do too. And they don't know how to take you. They're scared of you. They feel uncomfortable around you. But if you weren't that, did you want to just be part of the crowd? Did you want to just keep sitting there and taking whatever showed up? Or do you want to be different? Because that's where we're walking between worlds. Walking between worlds means you got 1 foot in 3D and you got 1 foot in a place we've never been before. I don't want to put a label on it, and I don't want to put a name on it or how it works, because it's a special place for you. And you came to guide, to way show, to be helpful to other people, to bring them across. But the new place doesn't completely exist yet. So we can't start helping people until we built it for ourselves. So now it's an inward process of, what do I want? What's self-love to me? What feels good? How does the world work? Do we need laws? How does sexuality fit into that? Are we free? Do we have to worry about money? What are we going to bring across that's structure, that's positive and love? And what do we bring across, or what don't we bring across? And I'm finding that there's probably 90+% of stuff that I don't want to bring across. This world is corrupted to the deepest levels. The structures we've created are beautiful, and there's parts of it that are amazing, art and interactions with people and depth and all these kind of things. But do we need laws? Do we need to get a ticket when we don't wait 3 seconds at a stop sign? Do we need photo radar cameras that collect taxes? Do we need government? Do we need taxes at all? How do we interrelate with people? Oh, well, you gotta have a religion, and yeah, you sin, and you're all this kind of stuff. I don't really think that was for anything other than control. So right now, within us, in this crazy, crazy stuff we're going through, we're distilling and purifying ourselves. We are learning what's important to us. And in the reality that's about to come, that you're creating, it's your reality first. I honestly think that we're releasing the 3D collective and we're joining into the people that are leading the way into a new collective. One that revolves and evolves around just love, self-love, unconditional love, sharing with other people, abundance, peace, play, sexuality, all these things we're trying to get real on inside of ourselves, and we're purifying out all the stuff that no longer serves. Oh, here's the control mechanisms. Here, I'm not good enough. Here's all this stuff. So we're getting shown over and over and over again. That's the exhaustion. It's just like my whole reality is breaking down. But holding on to the old reality is going to slow you down. Secondly, it's not going to allow you to create that pure place that you need. And there's no mistakes in this, or whatever God in the universe is pushing us for it to come up exactly the way we need. But it makes it feel so surreal. There's nothing we can hold on to. There's no structure left in our reality. So we're in free fall, and we're exhausted, and we're fighting it instead of swimming it. Imagine there's no ground. You're just like in free fall, like a parachutist or whatever, and there's no ground, but you haven't stuck your wings out. If you stick your wings out, all of a sudden, poof, and now you can bend left and right, and now all of a sudden you're soaring instead of plummeting. How many of us have put our wings out? How many of us have started to believe that the new reality is possible? How many of us are looking inside and saying, what do I really want? Because it hasn't been possible before. What if it's possible now? And then as you create around you the things that you want and accept possibility, then you shine that out to other people. People are going to ask, it's like, how'd you get that? Well, I got really real with myself, and this is the kind of relationship. This is what I want. This is the kind of abundance that I want. I'm not going to sit in debt and money slavery and all these kind of things because I believe that part of the world is true. No, that part of the world has fucked me up more than I can possibly imagine. What do I want that's different? Oh, a free flow of money, or a place that doesn't even need money. A place where I have abundance, a place where I own my own home, a place where beautiful women show up and we play and have fun and giggle and laugh and go to movies and share sexuality and exploring each other. That's all a possibility that we didn't know was possible because up until now it wasn't. And we're unbinding ourselves from those stories, those beliefs that just constantly gum up our works. Once you understand that allowing darkness in and control in is a choice, and that we never had that choice before, we just allowed, it opens this space of being able to choose different. I choose to have power over my darkness. I choose to stop feeling controlled and letting my power go. I choose to consciously manifest instead of manifesting the story of the collective or those around me or the social conditioned one. Small little footsteps like that are going to create this place of possibility. And really, the new reality we're creating is an unlimited possibility reality. And it's very cool, but it's also very, a little bit scary, uncomfortable, because we got to be really, really, really conscious of our holdbacks, our mixed up beliefs, because that'll come into our manifestation when this starts. But it's not like you're going to get hit on the head with a baseball bat or whatever. It's going to be your manifestation will come out a little twisted, not quite what you wanted, but now you're going to be able to see it and you're going to be able to adjust. And then your beliefs and your holdbacks and your anger and frustration and stuff like that start becoming things that you need to release because they're jading your perspective. And as soon as you get to that really beautiful place, all of a sudden the magic starts to happen. And it's possible. I'm not even there yet, but it's possible to start grooming this green meadow where you live with the beautiful house that you want and all the partners or fun or play or money or cars or travel or whatever that you want, because that's being part of God. That's being part of our Godness, is to experience everything to the best way possible. But I'll tell you right now that it was all controlled. It was all manipulated. You had energies attached to you, all this kind of stuff. And we just got to keep pulling that stuff off and saying no more. And it's really just setting a boundary. No darkness is going to come in here. Nobody's going to fuck with my relationships. Nobody's going to fuck with my money. Nobody's going to whatever. And then it starts to happen. So look inside, see the things that you don't have permission for in yourself and you don't know what to do about it. Just start making declarations. No more. That's not going to happen. I'm going to set up a boundary where those men or women that hurt me or are wounded, that come in and just cause more wounding, I don't need that anymore. I don't have to prove myself. I don't have to. Just keep inserting that as you're laying there each day and you're feeling exhausted, things aren't working out. Take a step up. Say, I choose something better than I have now. That can be the easiest one. I choose what's for my highest good. I choose to be on my highest possible vibration. And just choose one of those. And it's just like a stair rung up each time. And you open to new possibility. I choose to let go of this feeling of tiredness or failure or whatever, and just make a choice. Boom, boom. Just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. You're going to find out you're going to get this positive vibration that's building up. It'll be like a snowball that's going down the hill, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger until that's your dominant vibration. Just guess what your vibration is now and how tired out and exhausted and how people are attacking you, and this feels really uncomfortable. If you're saying that and that's coming, well, obviously you believe that that's okay for you. So I don't want to make this too long. I just want to make people aware that we're kind of feeling that energy of not belonging here and other things for a reason, because we're walking between two worlds. You've got one foot in a new reality and you need to start creating some possibility there. Keep the programming as little as possible about how it should be and what it has to do and rules and all this kind of stuff, and just insert possibility into it. It's like, I want to have a new partner in my life. I want to have some more abundance in my life. I want to have play and fun. I want to have a passionate job that gives me all the money I need, or a passionate role in this world as a healer, as a way shower, just living my life. That doesn't mean you have to have sessions with people. You can do stuff like that. And you're just giving back to the world, and then you're allowing the abundance to come back through some other form. You don't have to get people paid and set value to everything or whatever. You just have to have a willingness to give and then be open to receive. Because this is where it's needed. This is where it starts. This is where the change is, in people sharing ideas, sharing possibilities, creating new possibility. So see that the darkness, the heaviness, the things that aren't working out are all just showing you some deficit in the way you're thinking. And then insert something better. Oh, I choose to feel better. I choose to feel positive. I choose to, I don't know, create a cooler day so that you can go out and relax and enjoy yourself. And you'll just start to see the infinite power of who you are by adding to possibility, choosing, wishing, hoping, whatever, and then staying in the positive. And when the positive comes in, really celebrate it and worship it. And then a new, pure, innocent reality is going to start to form around you. And there's no things such as worthiness. There's no things such as deserving or those kind of things. And those things are all going to show up, and you're just going to go poof, 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 just dust them off and send away the parts that no longer serve, and send all the guides away that no longer serve. Bless them, thank them, appreciate them. There's a little ceremony you can have, and it's like, oh, thank you. Yeah, all these people taught me how to do this, and I'm really grateful. But now I choose better guides. I choose a better path. I choose one where I'm self-worthy and I'm happy and I'm excited, and all the things that I want start to show up. I choose that now. Start making little statements like that, even though you might not 100% believe them. If they're stated out of your mouth loudly, your guides are going to hear them, and whether or not they really understand or not, you made a choice. Start choosing. Choose better. I choose better. I choose better. If you can't figure it out, I choose something better. And that's always going to get you going. And then you can also say no to things that aren't working out. Oh, this is an abusive partner, or this is more debt, or whatever. No, I choose that these aren't going to help me anymore. So we're walking between worlds. How are you programming your new world? And where are you spending more time? Start to take naps in the better world. Start to feel how that feels to wake up in that higher energy. And then your dominant energy is going to become the new reality. So are you choosing that now? Or are you scared of it? Or you're not sure? Or you want somebody to save you? You want things to get better? Blah, 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 blah. No, I choose better. I choose better. I choose my new reality. I choose my dominant energy to be the new reality. And then this wave comes, and then it's like, oh, I'm over there. Guess what? I'm happy. Hopefully this resonates. It resonates deeply in me. And take a look. Start asking questions. If you're confused or it's not feeling good or it's whatever, put some questions down there. We'll talk. I'd love to talk about this stuff. But it's time for the new reality. And I thank everybody that's joined in. I see a couple have been watching the whole time, so that's amazing. And hopefully this gave you a gift, and you're welcome to it. I love you all. I want best for everybody, including myself, and that's why I share like this. So have a good day. Talk to you soon. Love you lots.